War Eagle, and welcome to another edition of Ever to Podcast, our somewhat regular get-together with you in audio format here at E2C Network, where we share the Auburn experience. The Auburn experience to us is all about a few things: Auburn sports, Auburn culture, and Auburn family stuff. A maybe easier way to say it, though, would be if it's orange and blue, it's what we do. Thank you so much for joining us in what we're going to be doing today here on Ever to Podcast, episode 16. Had to think about that for a second, so I'll get used to those numbers eventually. Today's date is June 3rd, 2025, and as always, we've got plenty to catch you up on in this space on this Tuesday, so let's get rolling here talking about Auburn sports, topics, things that are just maybe on the top of my mind. All of it's got an orange and blue flair. So we're going to start off today with some more information about the upcoming Auburn Super Regional, not regional, Super Regional. If you missed yesterday's episode, if you missed the Auburn Experience podcast, if you missed any of our other content and just the stuff that Auburn's putting out, yes, your Auburn Tigers are officially hosting their first Super Regional after winning the Auburn General Regional to start off the NCAA baseball tournament. Auburn will be playing Coastal Carolina, the 13 seed, with them being the 4 seed. Both of those teams made it out of their respective regionals to face each other in what is going to be a very hotly contested and a very high energy Super Regional that I think is going to be very, very exciting to attend. I am working to be able to be in Auburn and attend that. At this point, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to, or at least I can't commit to it at this exact moment, hoping to have more information for myself on that in the week. But those of you who've asked me, are you going to be there? And at this moment, I do not have tickets, and I think tickets right now are sold out. I wonder if they'll try to squeeze some more in or some will come available. But you should definitely go check online. Auburn Baseball and AuburnTigers.com has a Super Regional mini website that you can click on that page that will give you all the things that you need to know, the parking information, what is and isn't available as far as tickets, times, other things surrounding that, upgrades that you can do. They had that one for the regional, so I would highly encourage you to go check that out. But the information that you need to know today is not necessarily the stuff we've already talked about, who we're playing. We know now dates and times for the Super Regional games with Auburn and Coastal Carolina. Auburn will be playing this Friday to potentially Sunday. They have to stagger these things a little bit, so some people start Saturday to Monday. Auburn did get the Friday the 6th till Sunday, if needed, the 8th, but they will definitely be playing on Friday the 6th and Saturday the 7th. Your game times right now, saddle up, folks, on Friday night is 8 p.m. Central Time. That means 9 Eastern Time. The Tigers will be playing the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers on a very late prime time, I guess you'd say, matchup on the Plains. Boy, that place is going to be rocking even late at night. It's going to feel good not to be in the heat that night. Now, if you like that one, unfortunately, you will be having to sit in the heat if you're going to the game on Saturday the 7th, as that first game is, or the second game, I should say, 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 Eastern Time for Auburn and the Chanticleers. Now, keep in mind, this is all weather issues and excluded from this. Last time I checked, there was some chance of rain most of the weekend. I would wonder if the times would get bumped up if there was a window to get the game in. Otherwise, they're going to have to bump back into Saturday, and then I don't know if they play a doubleheader or things like that. But essentially, remember, this is a best 2 out of 3. So if Auburn or Chanticleers were to win both the first games, it's over, and we wouldn't have to play Sunday. But that Sunday date is obviously the 8th, but the time is TBD right now. Be listening, watching for that, because obviously that's really important information. And we hope, on the good side of things, that the Tigers are able to wrap this up in 2 games, and that way we can get this done and move on to the College World Series. Not predicting that, not writing off the Chanticleers, just stating what we're hoping is going to happen. But that's your latest information about the Auburn Super Regional. I do want to do some actual Auburn football topics here today, and I know those have been few and far between, but let's be honest, as things officially wrap up with the last of all the spring sports, baseball, track and field, we're going to be getting more and more football talk. A lot of it's speculative, and I'm not a big speculative person, but I know some of these topics are good for you guys. So let's start right here. I'm doing things a little bit out of order than I want. ESPN released their what they call the FPI, which is a computer-generated rankings of certain aspects to see what they think based off that computer, who should be ranked where in the preseason of college football 2025's upcoming year. Now, Auburn finds themselves on this top 25 list and right smack dab in the middle of it. Number 14. On either side of them is Ole Miss at 13, South Carolina at 15. Just if you want some information about who else is on this list ahead of Auburn, you got Texas, Georgia, Alabama. This is in order. Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, Miami, Tennessee, Clemson, LSU, Ole Miss, Auburn, and then, of course, South Carolina is your top 15. Oklahoma, Michigan, Florida, Southern Cal, SMU, Kansas State, Arkansas, Missouri, Arizona State, and Nebraska round out the top 25. Now, keep in mind, all of these things, whether they're computer-generated, whether they're fan-generated, or quote-unquote expert-generated, these mean absolutely nothing. But what it does is start to make you think, where do we find some correlations? And we have seen Auburn find its way onto way too early top 25 lists from people, from now computers, from other metrics as well. So it begs the question is, clearly there's a correlation between all of those. What is a computer? What is a human seeing that should make you maybe feel encouraged that after these last few seasons, Auburn should be expected to be in the teens in terms of preseason top 25 polls, or maybe just flat out be in a top 25 poll? I'm not saying that you should right out go ahead and expect that or be disappointed if it doesn't happen and be overexcited if it does happen even higher than that. But clearly there's something going on the plains that everybody is recognizing, computers and humans, to see that maybe, just maybe, this upcoming season in the 2025 year for Auburn football could be a much, much better one. And I know everybody as Auburn football fans is really hoping for that. And certainly I think we believe that can happen. However, I would caution, waving a caution flag here, like I guess if you're a NASCAR fan, and just hold your horses here. It's fun to talk about right now, but it means absolutely nothing other than just something to beg the question and see, what is everybody putting together and where is it correlating? So we'll leave it there for now, but that's the information that I wanted to share with you about that. Other football news that has nothing to do with the current state of the team, the program, but about our history. And this was news that dropped yesterday that for the first time, one Cameron Newton is eligible to be on the College Football Hall of Fame ballot. So this is the first time that he is eligible to make it on to that list or to be part of that Hall of Fame. If you're curious about other Auburn people that are also eligible at this current time, there are 3, including him, Takeo Spikes, and Tommy Tuberville. So I say that because I think it's an important thing. You see the headline on social media, and this is what too many people do. They react and like, oh, of course he's going to be it. And then when they don't see, the context around it and it doesn't happen, they start saying things on social media, what a travesty, or, things like that. You got to take some time, do your research. So this isn't the only Auburn guy that's out there that can be in the Hall of Fame that could be on the ballot. Tommy Tuberville, Takeo Spikes especially, I would say, is probably going to find his way up on more people's lists to start with. So I'm not saying that Cam isn't worthy of a first ballot pick right away. I think if anybody's got a case for that, Cam Newton does. But you got to think about especially a guy like Takeo Spikes, who not just had a great college career, and I know this is about College Football Hall of Fame, but it's impossible for people to separate their full story from things like this, with a great NFL career as well. And the personality that he's been and just the energy guy that he is, I got to think that Takeo Spikes is up there as well. So Auburn's already got 9 people on the College Football Hall of Fame. So I guess if somebody is selected, it would be the 10th if my numbers are correct there. But I guess the question becomes, and maybe for you all to interact with us on social media here you can send us at e2cnetwork@gmail.com for any topics, including this one that you want to share your thoughts about. We might use it on the show. What do you think? Is Cam Newton going to be selected as a first ballot College Football Hall of Fame awardee, I guess is what you would say, or selection? Or if he's not going to be a first, how many seasons do you think it'll take or votes for him to get in there? I'm going to say I think it's going to take no more than 3 for him to be in the College Football Hall of Fame. It may be a little bit early for some of those things, but he was such a dynamic player and such a landscape-changing thing that I think it's going to be on people's minds a lot for him to be in the College Football Hall of Fame in short order. But just keep in mind, this is just a nomination for him for the first time. He will get selected at some point. He is worthy of that. It's only a matter of time. So with that in mind, that is our show today for Ever to Podcast, episode 16. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, hit us up at e2cnetwork@gmail.com. Follow us on social media. Download the podcast feed for this and our other shows like the Auburn Experience. And be sure that you are subscribed on YouTube. We've not only got Auburn Family Night coming up on Wednesday, we got some other special live streams even tonight, if you're listening to this on this Tuesday, with Clint Richardson of the Auburn Uniform Database talking about the history of Auburn and Under Armour. You can also catch the replay of that if you're listening to this much later. That's a good thing to do. Stay connected and stay up to date with all the things that we got going on here at the E2C Network, where we share the Auburn experience. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Until we talk to you again, War Eagle.